cylindrical or the pinhole inside it, and the snug recess are present on the top side. Now today we will draw the bush which is to be inserted inside this body. For drawing the bush, first we will see the dimensions of the bush. Now you can see here the total height of the bush is equal to 15 plus 40 plus 15. So this height of it is equal to 15 plus 40 plus 15, that is 70 mm, will fit inside this body. Now you can see the upper part of the body from here to here, it is of height 70 mm. So this 70 mm hole inside the body is provided so that this bush or the part of the bush from here to here, which is also of height 70 mm, will fit inside the body. This upper part of height 12 mm will remain outside the body. Now we will find the diameters. The diameter of this upper part, which is of height 12 mm, is equal to 78 mm. You can see from the top view the largest diameter is 78 mm, and the largest diameter in the front view is this. So this diameter will be equal to 78 mm. The diameter of the lower part is equal to 68 mm. This diameter is 68 mm. So the diameter of this part will also be equal to 68 mm. So this part and this part will have diameter equal to 68 mm. The diameter of this part from here to here, that is this portion, will be equal to 65 mm. The diameter of this hole which is provided on the top of the bush, this hole is nothing but the oil hole. This hole will be of diameter 65 mm. So this center part from here to here, that is this cylindrical part, will be of diameter 65, and also the hole which is present at the top will be of diameter 65 mm, and the last hole which is of 50 mm will be from this hole, that is from this center line to this end line. This hole will be of 50 mm. Now this hole is provided to insert the shaft inside this. You can see the shaft here is also of diameter 50 mm. So this shaft is of diameter 50 mm will be inserted inside the bush. So this hole which is present at the center of the bush will be of diameter 50 mm. So now we will draw the bush. For drawing the bush, we have to first draw this line which will be of diameter 78 and a height 12 mm. So now we will draw. You can see first we will join these 2 points by a light line. Join these 2 points with a light line. Now from this point we will mark a height of 12 mm in vertically upward direction. Now you will see I will mark the height of 12 mm in vertically upward direction. So this line is nothing but of length 12 mm. You have to mark a vertical height of 12 mm from this point in upward direction. Now from the center you have to take a distance of, now the total diameter of this upper part is equal to 78. So the half of 78 will be equal to 39. So from the center we will take a distance of 39 mm. This is the center, 39 mm towards left, and similarly we will take a distance of 39 mm towards right. So you can see here we have taken distance of 39 mm towards left and 39 mm towards right. You can see this dimension. The dimension from here to here is 39. Similarly the dimension from this part to this line is also 39. So the total dimension will be equal to 78. We will give the total dimension also. You can see. So the from first you have to mark a height of 12 mm. This height will be of 12 mm, and then from this center take a distance of 39 on the left and 39 on the right. So the total distance will be equal to 78 mm. Now simply draw a vertical line from this point to this end, straight vertical line. You have to draw a straight vertical line up till this point. Similarly from this end point, that is this end point, draw a vertical line in downward direction, straight vertical line in downward direction, this vertical line. So we have drawn two vertical lines in downward direction. Now I am relating these dimensions. Now in the next step what we have to do, from this point, that is this point, mark a distance of 1.5 mm in outward direction, then draw a vertical line in downward direction of length 40 mm. So first I will show the dimension here. This small line which I have drawn is of length 1.5 mm. Similarly from here also you have to draw a line of 1.5 mm length in outward direction, You can see now again this line will be of dimension 1.5 mm. You can see we have drawn line of 1.5 mm from here in towards the center. Now in the next step what we have to do, now we will draw vertical line of length 40 mm, that is from here to here in downward direction 40 mm. Similarly we will draw a vertical line from this point in downward direction which will be of length 40 mm. Now I will show the dimensions. This line which we have drawn now is of length 40 mm. Similarly this line which is drawn on the left hand side is also of length 40 mm. So we have drawn two lines of length 40 mm both on right hand side and left hand side. Now we will delete these dimensions. Now finally join these two points. We will join these points by drawing light line. So we have joined the points. Again we will join these two points from here to here. So we have drawn the some part of the bush. Now in the next step we'll draw the hole which is present inside the bush. Now you can see the hole which is present on the upper part of the bush, that is this hole. This hole is of height 8 mm and diameter will be 65 mm. So this hole is of diameter 65 mm and height 8 mm. So we will draw first the hole of diameter 65 and height 8 mm. So from the center take distance 32.5 mm on the left hand side, 32.5 on the left hand side, and then mark height of 8 mm. Similarly from the center take distance of 32.5 on the right hand side, 32.5 on the right hand side, and then mark height of 8 mm in vertically downward direction. Now you can see the total dimension from here to here will be equal to 65, that is the diameter of the hole is what, 65 mm, whereas the height of the hole will be equal to 8 mm, it is from here to here it is equal to 8 mm. So we have drawn this hole which is of diameter 65 mm and height 8 mm. Now we will join this hole. First I am deleting these dimensions, we can give it later on after completing the entire sectional front view. So now I will join these points. So finally we have completed the hole, that is this hole which is of diameter 65 mm and height is what, 8 mm. This hole will be of diameter 65 mm and height will be equal to 8 mm. Now in the next step we have to draw the hole or the shaft hole which is present inside the bush, that is this hole, this entire hole. Now this hole is of diameter 50 mm, you can see the diameter is given as 50 mm. So now we will draw the hole inside the bush which is of diameter 50 mm. So from the center take distance of 25 mm towards left and draw the vertical hole. From the center take distance of 22, so total diameter is 50 mm, so the half distance will be 25. So from center we will take distance 25 mm towards left and then we will complete the hole. Again from the center, this center take distance of 25 mm towards right and then draw the vertical line. So we have completed the hole inside the bush which is of diameter 50 mm. So you can see this hole is of diameter 50 mm whereas the hole present at the top, that is this hole, is of diameter 65 mm. So we have completed the sectional front view of the bush. Now in the next step we will show hatching lines in the solid part. Now this part of the bush, that is this part as well as this part is solid, whereas this part and this part upper part is a hollow hole. So inside the solid part we will show the hatching lines. So now we will show this is a solid part. So we will show hatching lines inside the solid part. So you can see we have shown hatching lines inside the solid part. These are nothing but hatching lines or section lines inclined at 45 degree with the horizontal. Now in the next step the third part to be inserted is nothing but the disc. Now we will insert the disc inside the bush. Now the disc will sit here at the bottom portion. Now we will see the dimension of the disc. Now you can see the disc is of diameter 50 mm. whereas the height of the disc is 15 mm. So the height of the disc is 15 mm and the diameter is 50 mm. Also the disc is having a hole, that is the pinhole, similar to the hole inside the body. So now we will draw the disc which is of height 15 mm and diameter 50 mm. The radius of the disc is having a spherical groove on its top. This is a spherical groove which is of radius 60 mm. So we have to draw a spherical curve which will be of radius 60 mm on the upper part of the disc. So let us draw the disc first. For drawing the disc, first draw a light line. Now you can see this height from here to here. This particular height is 15 mm and the disc is also of 15 mm. So the disc will sit here at the bottom part. So now we will draw first. We will mark the height of the disc. We will check the height. You can see this height is equal to 15 mm. It should be equal to 15 mm. We will mark the height of the disc from here to here. Okay, first we will show the disc height. So the height is more than 15 mm. We have to change it. From here we'll mark a height of 15 mm. This is the point. So now we will check the dimension. So this line is of height 15 mm. So the disc will fit here, that is at the lower part of the body and the bush, and its height will be equal to 15 mm. Now we will draw the spherical groove inside the disc. So in order to draw the spherical groove which is of radius 60 mm, the spherical groove was of radius 60 mm. So now we will draw a spherical groove inside the body of radius 60 mm. So in order to draw that spherical groove, take a distance of 60 mm on the rounder. Place your rounder at this point and cut an arc on the center line in above direction. Again I am repeating, to draw the spherical groove, take a distance of 60 mm on the rounder or the compass. Place your rounder at this point and cut an arc on the center line above. Now I will show how we can draw the arc. So this is the first end point, this is the second end point, and now we will draw the arc. First, second, and the radius is equal to 60 mm. First point, second point, and the radius is equal to 60 mm. So we have drawn this spherical groove which is of radius 60 mm. Now we'll check the dimension. You can see the dimension of this part. So this spherical groove is of radius 60 mm. So in order to draw this spherical groove of radius 60 mm, take distance of 60 mm on the compass, place your rounder at this point or this point, any one of the endpoints, and cut an arc on the center line. This is the center line, cut an arc here. So you will get this point. Now again place your rounder at this point and draw an arc from this point to this point. So you will get an arc of radius 60 mm. Now we will draw or complete the pinhole. The pinhole inside the disc will be of same dimension as the body. So the height will be 6 and the diameter will be 4. You can see this pinhole. This will have same dimensions as the dimensions of the body in pinhole inside the body. I will show the dimension. This height will be equal to 6 mm, whereas the diameter of this part will be equal to 4 mm. So the diameter of the pinhole will be equal to 4 and the height is equal to 6. The total height of the pin is 12 mm. So 6 mm will go inside the body and 6 mm will go inside the disc. Now finally we will complete the pinhole. So we have completed the pinhole which is present both inside the disc and the body. Now we will show section lines. We can delete this line or you can keep this line as light line. Now we will show section line. Now this part of the disc, this entire part is solid part, so we have to show hatching lines inside this part. Now we will show the hatching lines. So now we will show hatching line inside this part. So we have shown the hatching lines. You can see this is the hatching line, solid part. So we have shown hatching line inside it. Now we have to delete this extra lines, because when the shaft will be inserted inside the bush, these lines will not be visible. So now we are deleting it. You can keep it as light line also. Now the last part that is to be drawn is nothing but the shaft. Now we will draw the shaft. Now the diameter of the shaft is equal to 50 mm, and it is having a spherical groove at its bottom. Now this spherical groove, which a spherical counter of radius 60 mm, will fit inside this spherical groove of the disc. Now we will mark the height of the shaft from here to here. It is equal to 72 mm. So first we will mark the height of the shaft. So from this point you have to take a vertical height of 72 mm. So from this point take a vertical height of 72 mm. Similarly, on the left hand side also, from this point take a height of 72 mm. Now I will give you dimension so that you can check it. This height is of 72 mm. So we have marked distance 72 mm from both the corners. Now we will mark the diameter of the shaft. You can see the diameter of this upper part of the shaft is 64, whereas the height of this upper part is not given. So height of the upper part will be assumed by us. We will assume any height. We can assume here 15 mm, whereas the diameter of the upper part is given as 64 mm. So we will mark the diameter 64 mm on the upper side. So from the center we will take distance 32 on the left. Similarly, we will take distance of 32 on the right. So you can see the total dimension of this upper part of the shaft is equal to 64, which was given in the question. Now we will mark the height. Now the height will be assumed by us. The height we can assume as 15 mm. So we will assume 15 mm. Similarly, on the right hand side also we will take dimension of 15 mm. Here we have assumed the height as equal to 15 mm. So this height we have assumed as 15 mm. You can assume any height. Now we will join these 2 points by a light line. Now as in the question we can see a break is given on this shaft. This shaft is of very larger length, so we can't show the entire length of the shaft, so we have given a break. Now we have to draw this curve on the upper half of the shaft in order to show the break. Now we will draw this curve to show the break. So we have shown the break. We have already shown the break on the upper side. So we have shown the curve or the break on the upper side of the shaft. Now this part is a solid part, so we have to show section lines inside the solid part wherever the shaft is broken. So now we will show the section lines or the hatching lines. So this part is solid, so we have shown the hatching lines. So finally we can say that we have completed the sectional front view of the body. Now some extra part has to be drawn. We have to draw a line from here to here, straight line, that is this part. Again you have to draw a straight line from here to here. So finally this is the entire sectional front view of the body with shaft inserted inside it. Now we will give the dimensions. So this upper part is of diameter 64, then this larger part is of diameter 94. You can see this diameter as 94 mm. Then this whole or the shaft diameter is 50 mm, you can see here. Then this hole, oil hole present inside the shaft bush was of diameter 65 mm. Then this diameter was equal to 71 mm. You can see the various diameters. We have given the various diameters. Now this diameter from here to here was equal to 68 mm. So all these dimensions have been given. The total length of the pin was equal to 12 mm. You can see the total length of the pin is equal to 12 mm. So finally we have completed the sectional front view of the body.